Good day, everyone. It's another interesting episode today. Sit tight and enjoy this session. If I may ask, have you ever felt like nobody understands you? Feeling misunderstood happens when what you feel inside is different from what people see outside. So we'll be sharing on the topic, feeling misunderstood, but discover a safe place to speak freely. I am Mrs. Sophia Kiwamu. Remember to live with gladness. It is your personal responsibility. Yes, you may be among many people and you feel unheard or judged. That means you feel misunderstood. Immediately you connect with people. It is a signal to deal with. This taps into something many people experience but struggle to express it, especially among the young people. The topic is something I reflected on. And where is the root? How did they get to this point? But the good news is no matter the roots and the source, you can create a safe place to reduce the misconception and build trust that brings about open discussion in families, in meetings, in organizations, and not just talking and teaching. Also, the truth is, feeling misunderstood doesn't just address behavior, rather, it addresses hidden emotion like loneliness, confusion, pressure, even identity struggles. The truth is that so behind the silence that you see, a lot of people feel misunderstood. They remain silent because of the fear of being misunderstood again without realizing it is a signal that they need to attend to. What you commonly hear, no one gets me. Nobody wants to hear me. Nobody understands my feeling. You feel unheard. That is the truth. But let's be sincere to answer this deep emotional expression. Have you ever felt like nobody understands you? Yes or no? The scenario could be parents not listening to you, friends misjudging you, pressure from school, relationship in toxic states, even among couples, some feel unheard, which is a huge challenge in relationship today. Yes, but what they just need is a safe place for them to express themselves without being interrupted. What you just need is a safe place. No judgment, but less correction, but with more validation. More validation. The Bible speaking in 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7, it says, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. So a safe place is where your voice is heard without fear. Your heart is welcome without judgment. That is exactly what it takes for you to create a safe place. Your voice is heard without fear, and your heart is welcome without judgment. It is important to learn healthy expression and encourage right communication as we mature for better connection and happier living. Feeling misunderstood can be painful, but it does not have to define your life, define your personality. It is, yes, very painful. So we can create and allow an environment where we can feel safe, an environment where we can feel confident, an environment where there is no judgment. Otherwise, many people won't open up. The element to support this includes journaling as a habit. It's important. Spend some time to write out your ideas, your thoughts, talking to someone that you have truly trusted, an individual. That could be a teacher, could be a mentor, could be parent, could be friends. Managing and being in control of your emotion is important. Psalm 62 verse 8. Trust in him at all times. Ye people, pour your hearts before him. God is a refuge for us. Remember, we are sharing on the topic, feeling misunderstood, but finding your voice and being truly heard. This will make you to live with gladness as your personal responsibility. I had a student who was struggling academically but has strong creative talent. Parents keep pushing for academic excellence and comparing him with others. The boy was almost feeling unseen and misunderstood, believing that his strength and talent does not matter, without realizing the true talent is the key, and he never expressed himself and nobody heard him. This was a case of misalignment of expectation. Yes, we have to recognize that by recognizing and passing through counseling section of his individuality. Have you ever thought about this? Why do people feel misunderstood? It is actually lack of proper communication and lack of active listening. Sometimes you feel deeply and don't know how to express yourself clearly. different perspective, parents' perspective, teachers' perspective. People have different perspective, age and belief and experiences. Also fear of not opening up. You can hold back your feeling because you feel judged, fear of being judged, fear of not being accepted. Also emotional overload. When emotions are too strong, yes, people begin to feel anger instead of pain, silence instead of explanation and expression. Also mention an emotional struggle. Some conditions like depression and anxiety become the order of the day. Yes, healing begins the moment you find courage to speak freely. That's when healing begins. Being misunderstood by people does not mean you are forgotten by God. I remember this other student also who is withdrawn and spent more time alone. Parents assumed he was rebellious or bad influence and responded with him with strict rules. However, he was dealing with internal pressure and confusion, but feels judged instead of supported because of what lack of safe communication space. It is necessary to learn listening without quick judgment as it helps you to open up. Look at the scripture in Matthew 11:28. Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. There are so many signs that shows you are feeling misunderstood. Yes, such signs as when you often say, no one understands me. Yes, you withdraw from conversations. You feel lonely, even around others. You get frustrated when you are trying to explain yourself. Yes, you feel frustrated, and this is very common. When you stop expressing your true feeling, it reveals that you have a hidden emotion. So the earlier you handle it, the better you walk away from this danger. There are so many effects of feeling misunderstood. One of the effects is emotional isolation. You begin to disconnect yourself from people. Low self-esteem. You may start thinking, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm feeling, my feeling doesn't matter. Anger and frustration, unexpected emotion often turn into irritation and outbursts. It is important not to bottle up because one can blow up one day unexpectedly. Poor relationship, misunderstanding creates distance between you and others. It also becomes difficult to keep right people, and also mental health as a result of long feelings that leads one into these issues of stress, sadness, and anxiety. Yes, it's so important. Also, this young girl who was so lively and expressive, but sometime later, she became quiet. At home, parents will always assume you are too sensitive. At school, friends will say, you overreact. You overreact. So he finally had to take the decision of stop talking. What no one knew was she wasn't too sensitive. Rather, she was deeply feeling but poorly understood. She was poorly understood. That was just the issue until a teacher one day simply said, do you want to talk? I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your voice. And that was the moment it changed everything. Her statement also provoked her and she became a different personality. People actually need to be heard. Love expresses differently. This is the case of this young man and the family, the husband and wife. The woman's expression was just verbal affirmation. She just wanted to hear, I love you. That's just what she wanted. But she feels, unappreciated. While the partner's emotional situation was neglect. No, because of the issue of different love expression. So understanding each other was just the key language of expression of their love. It becomes very important it becomes very important to understand how to overcome the feeling of being misunderstood. How can I do this? Number one is understanding yourself first. Learn to understand yourself. Who am I? What am I? Learn to express yourself clearly. Take time to understand your feeling and express yourself clearly, honestly, not with complexities of words. Instead of saying you don't care, rather say I feel hurt when I'm not listening to. So learn to express yourself clearly. Also choose the right people. Not everyone will understand you, and that's okay. Trusted people are still there, colleagues, mentors, counselors. We are talking about living with gladness and not living in bitterness. You need to live with right people and talk and work with right people. You need to break loose from such emotional irregularity. You can't live in bitterness. Don't also bottle up. A suppressing emotion is also another challenge. Write your thoughts out. It is time to talk to someone. Also learn to pray and reflect on positive things. Bottling up is a big challenge because it can lead to frustration when you bottle up. Also be open to understand other people's feeling. Misunderstanding is not just one-sided, it is both ways. Also listening properly is so important. So it is nice to be open to understand other people's views as well. Building emotional intelligence is also a very important one. Recognize your emotion, control your reaction, respond calmly, learn to pause, and also weigh other people's emotion. Also seek help when needed. It could be professionals that you need to connect with as to get your challenges expressed. Seek help when needed. Seek help when needed. First Samuel, the scripture talking about Hannah answered, no, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have not been drinking or strong drink, but I have poured out my soul before the Lord. Even in sincere prayer, Hannah was misjudged, but God understood her. That's why it's so important we connect with God as well. A husband comes home tired from work and becomes quiet. His wife interprets it that he was silent as anger. That was the expression. Meanwhile, the husband assumed she understands. He just got stressed up and needed space. Both felt hot, and that was it. Issue was misinterpretation of silence without understanding and communicating right, and that was the beginning of their challenges. Feeling misunderstood, one of the deepest emotional experience a person can go through. It happens when you try to express yourself, but people don't get you. Your intentions are misinterpreted. Your feelings are dismissed or ignored. You may be surrounded by people, but you feel lonely in the midst of the crowd. This shows the emotional weight of being misunderstood, seeking comfort, but finding none. Feeling misunderstood is the gap between what you feel inside and what others perceive outside. Creating a safe space is so important. If you are leading any group, create an environment where no one is judged, everyone is allowed to speak and express themselves. You listen to each other is so important. Allow people to build confidence and respecting other people's view. A safe space turns silence into expression. No one, not everyone will understand you, obviously. That's okay. It is normal. Your feelings are valid. It's so important to always recognize that as to build confidence. Your feelings are valid. You deserve to be heard. The right people will always listen to you. That's the attitude. The right people will always listen to you. Feeling misunderstood can be very, very painful, but it doesn't have to define you. You cannot allow that to define your mood. When you learn to express yourself, choose the right voice, choose the right tone, build emotional strength. You move from feeling unheard to being understood and understanding others as well. Reflection question also: Am I hiding my voice? Am I learning from the situation? It's so important how to overcome this. This is important to also develop ourselves. It's not allowing it to be forceful. No, allow event to unfold. When your words are void of toxic pain or hurt, people will always understand you. They will involve you actively in discussion. You don't speak from the space of hurt and rejection. It is about finding your voice, expressing it well, and connecting with the right people. It's important to understand yourself first. You can't explain what you don't understand and expect people to understand you. Ask yourself this simple question: what exactly am I feeling? Why do I feel the way I feel? Is this normal? Am I carrying over old pain? Self-awareness is important. Clear expression is important. Right support and emotional control. Being understood is so important. You don't need everyone to understand you. You just need to understand yourself. Express yourself the right tone and be calm. Be quiet. Where you need to pause, you pause. That's why it is important to also learn never to live in bitterness, rather live with gladness. It is your personal responsibility. Living with gladness, feeling misunderstood is something you can take a decision to create right atmosphere, right environment, and build an atmosphere of confidentiality that will make people to truly and sincerely express themselves even around you. My name remains Mrs. Sophia Kiwamu. Remember to live with gladness. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. God bless you.